Hey everybody, welcome back. So in today's episode we're going to cover DIY side skirts. Side skirts on this car, they're not really for look, they're just for function. I'm installing them to keep air from washing under the side of the car. It just kind of helps make the car be a little slipperier down the track, keeps the air under the car that's under the car, air that's at the side to the side. So follow along. Fairly cheap project, probably about $120 invested in this. So yeah, enjoy the ride. Okay, here's all the tools I'm going to be using in this segment of this side skirt install. I've got a riv nut tool here. My riv nuts, these are 6mm riv nuts. I've got the bolts that I'm going to be using for this. So there's the part number and the size that I'm using. And here's the brackets that I'm going to be using. As you can see on the back one here, I already did a test, so that's already got the riv nuts in it. This is the piece that's going to bolt into the pinch weld on the car. So we'll go through and we'll get all these riv nuts put in. First, we're going to take one of these without the riv nuts and mark the car on the pinch weld where these are going to go so that I can get those drilled first. Okay, so here's the pinch weld on the bottom of the car. EK Honda Civics, EG Honda Civics, and DC2 Integras all have this kind of flat pinch weld behind the skirt. This is what we're going to be using to mount our new side skirts to. So this is the bracket I made. This is going to sit up here flush with this back kind of lip. And the bolts are going to go down through the top part. So what we need to do is we need to mark it with our paint marker first. Line up where we want it. So we got our two marks here where we're going to drill our hole. Got our safety glasses on. I'm going to use a unibit. See how this goes. Ouch. Watch for hot shards of metal. Wow. Should probably be center punching these first, but I don't have a center punch here, so. There's our holes. We'll just clean some of the burrs off the top side here. And then we'll take our bracket and bolt it in. Okay, so I got the burrs cleaned off on the top here for the most part. So I'm going to take this bracket that I made. So these are just riv nuts that I put in here and the hardware. And that's basically how it's going to sit. So I'm going to have 3 of these per side of the car. I'll also put a riv nut in here as well, and then the skirt is going to fit on, and it basically lines up right with the bottom here, comes down with an L. So let me get the rest of these on this side and these riv nuts in. I'll go over putting a riv nut in as well for anybody that hasn't seen it done before, and then we'll bolt the side skirts on and you can see the finished product. Alright, so next up I've got my brackets mounted to the pinch weld on the car. This is the lower one that I showed earlier. So we're going to take our nutsert and nutsert tool and put it in here. Just place it in there, slowly pinch it together. You don't want to go too far with it because you can actually pull the threads right out of the nutsert. Don't ask me how I know that, I just did it. pull that out. We've got a perfect threaded hole now for the screw that's going to attach the side skirt. So we'll do that 3 times down the car in the 3 locations. And once I have that done, I'll turn the camera back on and I'll show you the side skirts and how we're gonna line them up here. Okay, so now with our brackets all on the drip rail, or sorry, on the pinch weld on the side of the car, we're going to take our side skirts and start fitting them up. So this is the side skirt. It's 20 gauge aluminum that I had bent with a 90 on the bottom. See if I can line it up here for you so you can see it. And this was done out of scrap metal at a sheet metal place. Cost me about $100 I think for the material and the guy to bend it. Yeah, should work fine. It's beefy enough that it's not going to flop around when I'm driving at speed, and it's going to do what it's intended to and just keep air from washing into the car from the side. So let's go ahead and we'll see if we can get this bolted on. Okay, so for hardware to hold these on, I wanted to get a bolt that kind of looked half decent and was fairly low profile. And I found these on Amazon. They're Ryan Star Racing. They're just dress-up bolts in metric size. So I think they're $10 on Canadian Amazon. So, and there's a pack of 20. So I got a few left over. I'm going to use these to attach the side skirt to this. So what I did off camera that I didn't show is I had to get this held up here in place. So I used some wood blocks on the far end. And I held this up in here by hand, and then what I did is I took a paint marker from the back side and marked through onto the material here, and I took my unibit and drilled a hole. So go ahead and we're going to bolt this on here, and then we're going to go down the car and mark and drill the rest of them. So I basically just want this one here to hold this up because I don't have enough wood blocks to space the whole skirt up where I need it. Okay, so for anybody using this as a tutorial how-to, before you put the rib nuts in here, leave just the hole exposed and take your paint marker and mark from the back side into here. I put the rib nuts in prematurely, so now I'm trying to battle with how to mark this. So what I've done is I've taken a bolt, threaded it through from the back. I'm going to take paint marker, put a pretty healthy amount of paint on there so it doesn't dry. And hope that that left a mark, which it doesn't look like it did. Okay, let me see if I can come up with something else. Okay, I think I got a plan. So I got some red and tacky grease. It doesn't have to be this, just any grease. And I'm going to take a little dab of grease. Put it on each one of these. I'm gonna put a healthy amount because why not? Actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thread this bolt back. And I'm just gonna put grease on the nutsert. So I get that nice round imprint on the back of the skirt. Okay. Oh, I felt it stick up front here. Yeah. Okay, that worked awesome. So don't do what I did, but if you do, use grease to fix it. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm just going to take a unibit because it's easy and quick. And the size of this hole doesn't really matter because the hardware I'm using to attach this to the side of the car has got such a big washer on it. I can afford to make it a little bit bigger. The benefit of that is it'll allow me to get the height adjusted just right. So I stick some wood and put it under here so it doesn't deform too much. So we're going to drill right in the middle of that grease dot that we got off of here. There's one. There we go. So we got our holes drilled to bolt onto here. So I'm going to get this cleaned up. I'll just clean all the grease off with some brake clean, and then we'll bolt it up, see how it looks. One thing I want to check is I just want to make sure that I don't have any, I got big burrs on the outside here. So I'm going to take my unibit and go down into these holes on this side, just with a taper bit to clean it up. So let me grab that. If I can find where I put it. Oh, there it is. So let me see if I can show you here. So this one here has been cleaned up. This one here is not, so you see all these sharp burrs and stuff, we have to get those off. So we're going to use this step of the unibit to just kind of clean that edge up. Okay, so now we're gonna bolt this up into place. So I'm gonna start in the middle, just so it supports it, and then I can work on the ends. You don't want to start on one side because you'll have the corner scratch in the car and everything. So take our awesome super cheap hardware, Allen key. We're just going to bolt it loosely into place because we're going to adjust it after. There we go. Got some side skirts on the car. They're sturdy enough that they're not going to go anywhere. This car sees top speeds of about, can't see it going more than 220 kilometers an hour. So about 130, 140 miles an hour, I guess. So, and there's not a lot of air load on these. It's mainly just to keep turbulence from going into the car. So what I'll do after this to finish these up, now that I know they work, is I'm going to take the corners and just ever so slightly round them with a file. And I'm also going to get the door edge trim stuff that you can get at Advanced Auto, Canadian Tire. And I'm going to put it along the top of this because it's kind of a sharp edge. And I don't want to get caught on it. So I'm going to put that on the whole length of it and also keep it from rubbing anywhere on the body as well. And kind of give it a nice finish look. And then I'm going to either paint these black or powder coat them. So yeah, that's how you build a set of side skirts at home. Hey everybody, I hope you found that informative. Little projects like this are kind of quick and easy to do and rewarding once they're done because you get to see it. So stick around. Hopefully the next episode will be a little bit more of a tech episode. I'm hoping to actually start working on the electric power steering install in the car. So like and subscribe if you want to follow along. Thanks a lot. See you guys later. Bye-bye.